In the fourth generation of K-pop, the biggest groups are probably names like ITZY, aespa, and Stray Kids. Weeekly was just a new group. They never managed to break through, and by now, they're considered disbanded. But why did that happen? And above all, who were Weeekly? And why did they fascinate me so much that I decided to make a video about their downfall? When Weeekly debuted in 2020, they immediately won my heart with Tag Me, a song that remains one of my absolute favorites of all time, and probably my favorite Weeekly track. The group consisted of 7 members, each representing a day of the week. That's why Kim Ji-min's stage name is Monday. The other members also stand for the remaining weekdays. Jihan as Tuesday, Jiyoon as Wednesday, Soeun as Thursday, Zoa as Friday, Jaehee as Saturday, and Soojin as Sunday. Additionally, each member symbolizes an astronomical object in a concept canon. Musically, Weeekly gave us an incredible collection of songs, all radiating positive energy, especially throughout their first 4 mini-albums. Later, they adopted more modern concepts that remained cool while still capturing their playful charm. Weeekly's music always had the power to inspire, and the overall musical quality of their songs was truly outstanding. Even as someone without much expertise, I have to say their choreographies were always beautiful. They looked great on stage and, above all, were joyfully engaging. Although Weeekly never achieved a real breakthrough and remained a Nugu group until the end of their career, never winning a single award, they did have one undeniable hit with After School, which secured a meaningful and lasting place in the K-pop canon. In 2022, Jiyoon left Weeekly, citing mental health issues. She took a 2-year hiatus, never returned to the group, and later attempted a solo debut. While it wasn't successful in a quantitative sense, anyone with a bit of human sensitivity could feel that she seemed freer and more emancipated from the external pressures that had once surrounded her. It's worth noting that Jiyoon had already suffered from anxiety in the summer of 2021, which forced her to go on hiatus until winter before returning. So, in hindsight, it was already clear that things might become difficult for her.
But was Jiyoon's departure the reason for Weeekly's downfall?
The causal link is too simplistic, sadly, to blame the downfall solely on that. During their first 4 or 5 eras, Weeekly's domestic sales were actually rising, until Colorize, when they dropped for the first time, hitting their lowest point with Bliss. So, saying that the group was ruined by Jiyoon's departure would be too easy, since the decline during Colorize was still fairly moderate. At this point, I really recommend watching the video. It's crucial for understanding how companies react and what strategies they follow. In 2023, members of Weeekly, Zoa, Jihan, Soeun, and Soojin, participated in Queendom Puzzle. That was before the Colorize album, probably as part of a strategy to cushion the impact of Jiyoon's departure. None of them made it into the top 7, but they were entertaining and performed well throughout the show. Still, in retrospect, both L7Z Up and Queendom Puzzle are generally regarded as not particularly successful.
By the way, I personally like L7's Up, and I loved Queendom Puzzle, but mine didn't align with mainstream affirmation.
The logical conclusion would be that Jiyoon's departure was indeed harmful for Weeekly, not only emotionally, but also financially. However, Queendom Puzzle did generate a small wave of hype that likely softened that decline.
Whether it was just a temporary solution, or they should have gone with a different strategy from the start, doesn't even matter. Anyone who experienced that period knows that, as a fan, you could clearly feel from the content that here came investment evaluation phase.
And that's how Weeekly's story came to an end. Even if it's just my personal opinion, Weeekly gave us something truly irreplaceable. A masterpiece type of a discography. One where I love almost every song, along with beautiful stage presences, great insiders, and authenticity, and precious memories beyond the music itself. They may not have been the most successful group of their generation, but to me, they'll always be one of the best. And that's exactly why I wanted to immortalize Weeekly in this video.